Oscar and Sebastian. I'll just sit here then. So you want to know about Oscar and Sebastian?
I'd like to, please.
I'll get some of my facts wrong because I don't know all the facts. One thing I do know is that, in my opinion, if he was around now, would still be ahead of his time with how he thought and how he spoke and what he did and how he lived his life. I think for me, one of his greatest talents was how to insult people. I think it was him who said, was it? Oh no, it wasn't him. Someone else had said that one. I won't bother with that. No, I'm not clever enough to know the things he said. But I just loved the way he would tell stories, as I say, the way he would challenge the silly people in society as well, who would behave in certain ways, and he would just, as I say, bring them down to earth. But later in life, he did end up being put in jail for homosexual acts. In jail for 2 years, I think, hard labour, which must have been a bit rubbish. And when he was released, he changed his name to Sebastian Melmoth. There is a reason why, I forgot why it was called Sebastian Melmoth. I think it was a character in something that he'd read whilst in jail. He was forced to change his name because society had shunned him at the time, this genius. As I say, I'll repeat, I think he's a man who would still be ahead of his time in many ways if he was alive today, his intelligence. But always where I read, what we did was this. The way he signed things was beautiful. His signature was really lovely. So I thought, I wonder if I'm allowed to weave that into a material. And we got the rights to actually be the only people allowed to weave Oscar Wilde's actual signature, just his first name, just Oscar. So we wove his signature into silk, and in parallel to that we sourced the actual calling card that Sebastian Melmoth used in 1897. I'll find out, I think it was 1897. So yeah, that was when I think Oscar Wilde was released from jail in 1897. For 2 years lived as Sebastian Melmoth, then died. Anyway, the calling card that Sebastian Melmoth had created when he was released from jail, I sourced it, took the artwork, and we created a little monogram, an SM monogram, and we paired them up in a set. You buy both ties for the price of one tie, and both hanks or pocket squares for the price of, we're not discounting, we're just basically, we've got no choice. I don't want to double the price because it's one person. It has to be like that because Oscar Wilde was two people. And I like the fact that really, one of the last things to say on why it exists even as a product is, I think there are some very complex people about, and it's a celebration of the complexity of him as an individual and of the people who might buy the product as well. I like people who are flipping out, what's he or she going to do now? And I say she because women wearing ties look amazing, I think, and I think that there should be a lot more of it, so more women should wear ties. The end.